Red FM.
We certainly have to up our game, especially in like we're always over the years kind of saying we have to up our game in the forward line, but I think at this stage now it's kind of batten down the hatches, and maybe it is our defenders will have to maybe win the match for us. It might be more low scoring than what people think it is, and I think this is where our defenders will have to come in and defend better and maybe do less attacking and get the ball up into the forward line and maybe curtail our overlapping a bit and just cut and get them down, because their strength is in their forward line rather than their back line. So I think our back line is in for a very heavy, a good hour and 10 minutes on Sunday against them. So, but the only thing I say about that, Paul, as well, is that like since the Down match, I mean, I rated Down good before they played Kildare, but I notice now the general public have all of a sudden have turned them into a fantastic team. Yeah. I mean, that has yet to be proved over a couple of years. They're not a fantastic team. We saw them playing 2 matches. They played against a Kerry team that was tired and missing 2 of their main fellas, and Kildare, who looked like they were coasting when they were 5 points to 1 up or whatever it is, and then left in a goal. That shouldn't have been a goal. So. Like I respect Down for Sunday, and I think they're a good team, but I don't think they're a better team than Cork, to be honest with you. And I think that our fellas are staying quiet about it, and I think they're right. And I think on Sunday our forward line could prove that they were every bit as good as their forward line,
Yeah, and certainly, Dinny, the one area Cork would seem to have the upper hand would be in terms of experience. I mean, this is Cork's 3rd final in 4 seasons. It's Down's first time in a final in 16 years, so obviously none of their players have the experience of All-Ireland final day. And going on your own experience, Dinny, of being involved for All-Ireland finals, how much is experience an important factor going into it?
Well, it's important. I mean, like experience, you've been through it all before. Something will go wrong in the match. You say, hold on, I've been in this situation before. But like, I think the hurt of being in an All-Ireland final is a huge motivation factor for me. Like some people, it doesn't. Like Stephen O'Brien never felt hurt by losing, and he's a different type of animal. Like he just went on and was much more positive than I would, where the hurt kind of motivated me and a lot of the rest of the team. So we have that hurt. We've gone through that pain. Down haven't, and I think with that pain inside us, I think that will help us to get over the line on Sunday. Down, as we say, haven't won for 16 years, and I know they have a great record. They played in 5 and won 5, but I think at this stage now it's about time that we put that record to bed, I'd say, and they can have a record as well by playing 6 and winning 5. That'll still be a record for them. So I think we'd want to start breaking that 100% record for them, as well.
Yeah, and just in terms of Down again, Dinny, I mean, if they do reproduce the kind of performance they showed against Kildare and against Kerry, would it be fair to say that Cork will need to produce their best performance of the season to beat them? Because I think it's generally accepted that Cork really haven't hit the heights of last year yet. Yeah,
I think definitely. I mean, I think that wouldn't be asking too much, like for Cork to produce the type of game that they play at sometimes against Kerry, and in the last 20 minutes against Dublin, and I kind of repeated myself in saying when Cork felt that they were going to lose the match, they upped the game, and there was a certain amount of panic. But in that panic, there was a much faster type of game played. So, without being sounding too glib, I hope they panic to an extent on Sunday, because it brings in this faster game from Cork, and they know themselves that they'll have to up the game as well. But it's grand to know it sometimes. I mean, you play in games sometimes and you know what you should do, but it just doesn't happen. And it's just a mindset. So if every player on Sunday just gets it into his mind that, look, we all have to play better by 5%. It doesn't have to be one fella increasing it by 50%, one fella all of them by 5%. And I think we'll be well on the way to winning,
Yeah, you mentioned the Dublin game there as well, Dinny. Do you think that was a turning point for this Cork team? Because their backs were to the wall, as we know, and I mean, it looked like they were heading out of the championship, but they showed serious character to turn it around in the closing minutes. I mean, there's been question marks over the character and the mental strength of this Cork team. Do you think that might have been a turning point?
I think so. I mean, we've all been questioned in that situation, and the word battle is used a lot, which is that's taken very personal by players. Now, we took it very personal at the time in 89, 90. That's on. We probably took it too personal, but that word has been used. But I think Cork, the way they produced the last 20 minutes against Dublin, they got rid of a certain amount of it, certainly, and stopped the media from coming at them again for that match. But they are still waiting in the wings to be able to repeat that word again. But I think that that gave them a certain belief the last day against Dublin that they got through the last 20 minutes, and because of that, because of a lot of things, but I think that, they have a belief in them now, and I think they'll go on to win by, by whatever, 2 or 3 points. I don't really know whether it's going to be a point or 5 or 6, but I believe genuinely that they're going to win the match,
Yeah, just very finally, Dinny, before I let you go, how important is it to have a strong referee for this game on Sunday? Now, David Coldrick is the man in charge. He refereed the 2007 final and did a fairly good job as far as I can remember. And we go back 12 months ago, Marty Duffy from Sligo was the referee. I know a lot of people in Cork had complaints about his performance afterwards, especially in the opening. I mean, we look back 12 months ago, the opening few seconds and the incident with Ty Kennelly and Nicholas Murphy. It's going to be crucial that the referee gets a hold of the game from early on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, there was a friend of mine always in Nîmes, and he called things like, he called those type of things imposters, things that you don't, when you're as a player, you don't think of. You don't ever think of the weather, you don't ever think of the conditions of the pitch, you don't ever think of the referee. You have enough to think about yourself and how you're going to play yourself, who's the fella on you, what kind of type of ball you're going to get into the foul line, or what type of ball you're going to get from the back line and that. But you never put into consideration those type of things that you just mentioned there, like referees, and the players won't put it, like they'll just concentrate in their own game and leave it up to guys on the sideline or whatever to take that over, and worry about the referee as such, but hopefully you again, that you're going to have a referee. I mean, I thought the referee against the Dublin match, I thought was quite good. Or he was good, I felt, but in the match against Cork and Kerry, then one of our best referees, McEnany, I thought he had a very poor game on the day, even though I think he's one of the best in Ireland. So referees can have bad games as well as players, so hopefully that on the day that he'll have a good game, and that we'll get just the fair crack of the whip and then get our 50% of whatever we should get. You know what I mean?
Okay, Dinny Allen, as always, thanks a million for talking to us here on Red FM.
Okay, Paul, thanks very much.